Hey team, it's Haley. So, have you ever looked at Pinterest or YouTube and seen those DIY videos or those baking or cooking or furniture making or just any video in general and think, can I make that? So, that's what I've been thinking for a long time. So, I've decided to try doing it myself. And I got a KitchenAid mixer as a wedding gift. So, I'm going to try and make Oreo cupcakes. And so I guess we'll see if I can make this. My sister's probably going to join us a little bit later on. Probably in honestly a few minutes. She just didn't want to be in this intro part. So let's see if I can make this. Good luck to me. So for the first step, we're going to take one whole Oreo and put it into each cupcake case. So our next step is to measure out our dry ingredients and put it in a bowl. And I'm going to sieve it so that way there's no lumps in it. And I'm measuring everything in grams today because this is a British recipe. So everything's in grams. And the oven, it says to preheat to 170 degrees Celsius, which is 335 degrees Fahrenheit. So I just put it on 350 because I feel like that's close enough. And I'll just have to maybe take them out a minute or two sooner. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out 85 grams of self-raising flour. So I just put in 85 grams of self-raising flour. And that also calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. So Gracie's going to measure in 125 grams of sugar. So far we've put in 100 extra grams of sugar. So I'm trying to spoon out the big chunks in hopes that we can have less sugar. So now we're going to measure in 15 grams of cocoa powder. Add a pinch of salt, and then we're just going to sift all that through. Oh, it's very lumpy. Lumpelstiltskin. And then we're just going to whisk that together to combine it all for when we pour it into our wet mixture. So I lied. And all of this just goes in here. There's no wet and then dry. I just made that up in my own mind. And what I have to do next is measure out 135 grams of unsalted butter. That's 112. 112 from 135 is what? A little bit more. And then I'm a rebel, so I'm not going to measure the other 23 grams. I lied, I'm going to measure the other 23 grams. I'm not that much of a rebel. Perfect! I've never seen so much perfection in my life. Except for when I look in the mirror. Okay, we're going to pop this down and lock this in place. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on 1. Oh, wow. This is a lot of movement. Doesn't look quite right. So I'm going to make it go faster. I don't know why it didn't have me cream the butter and then do this. Because this just doesn't look right. Does this look right to you? So far, I can't cook that. So I'm just going to continue trooping on. And hopefully, this comes together. Because it currently looks nothing like the video. So the reason it's not looking right It's because I'm not doing it right. Helpful tip, watch the full video, then try. Because I was supposed to add eggs at this point in the process. So I'm going to add 2 whole eggs. And then I'm going to turn it on low. And we'll see if that turns out better. So as you can see, it looks a lot better when you follow the directions. And add a tablespoon and half of milk. And then I'm just going to add a dash of vanilla, and mix that up. And I'm going to mix it on medium. Yeah. So now we need to put these in for about 15 to 20 minutes. And I'll check back in like 15 minutes with a toothpick and see if they're done. That's good. So to make the frosting, it says to put half a packet of Oreos in. However, in England, they have tiny little packets. And in America, we like to live big, so we have big old packets. So we're just going to put a bunch in here. And like, we can use the leftover Oreo dust. Oreo dust. Oreo dust. As I said, I'm not the best baker. So, we're gonna chop up a bunch of Oreos and we could use the leftover Oreo dust for garnish. So I think that's enough. This is a mini food processor, but it still looks like a lot, huh?
That's really close.
2 more for good, 3 more for good measure. I'd rather have... So now we're going to add 200 grams of softened unsalted butter to the KitchenAid, and we're just going to whip that up for about 5 minutes until it gets nice and soft, and then we'll add the powdered sugar and the crumbs. First, you should plug in your KitchenAid mixer. That's the first step. So for the next part is we need 450 grams of powdered sugar sifted. So I'm just going to sift it straight into the bowl. So now that we've sifted in the powdered sugar, we're just going to start that on low with the butter. And once it gets mixed in a little bit more, we'll turn up the power. Okay, so now we're just going to add in a splash of milk to loosen it up a little bit. And we're also going to add about a teaspoon of vanilla. Turn up. So now we're going to add in some of our Oreo crumbs. I'm going to leave some behind because I don't know if I have too much or not. Because if you remember, we did a guesstimate. So I'm going to mix this on low and see how it looks.
So now I'm putting the icing in an icing bag. I'm currently being made fun of for it.
So now what we're going to do is you're just going to put 1 Oreo in each cupcake. Alright guys, so there we go. I guess I can do it. It just took a lot longer. And there was a few mishaps like dropping the Oreos on the floor and things like that. But It was successful. There are cupcakes. They have Oreos. I'm assuming they taste like Oreo. All right, guys, so that's it for me, and I'll see you guys next time.